The title of this video is a prime example of the quote I say in each of my videos. Too much of any good thing is good for nothing. It's the abuse of things, shopping, clothes, marijuana, alcohol, etc., that make them have a diminishing return. Like, for example, on your Black Friday shopping today, or whenever it happens, whenever you see this video, ask yourself, how can I make money off of my purchase? If you are buying something for Black Friday and you plan on making a video about it, one could argue that's actually a net profit or an ROI. And on top of that, it is probably a tax write-off for your small business. So you're buying something, but you're making money off of it, and you're getting a business deductible from that purchase because it's a business expense to create the video. Does that make sense? But no long talk, let's see what Poku has to say.
Hey, it's Poku Banks, baby. Today we're going to talk about some things that I stopped spending money on personally, and I'm going to explain to you my reasoning and my rationale. Now, if you're new to the channel, I'm Poku Banks. I'm a 90-year-old entrepreneur that goes to university and loves talking about personal finance and entrepreneurship. If you're watching this video today, it tells me you want to elevate your mindset and you want to find the things in life. So make sure you come with a pen and pad, with an open mind and ready to learn. Hey, by the way, if you see me like sweating in this video, yeah, it's hot. It's like 33, so bear with me. Now, the type of items and things that I'm going to in this video are things that I noticed as I grew up, but I don't need it anymore. Now, before I saw these items as necessities and, things I really needed, but in reality, I don't really need them. And, like Robert Hughes, like I said, it's not about how much money you make, it's about how much money you keep. Now, the items I'm going to, which help me save a lot of money, can save you over thousands per year, easily, thousands per year. You can save this much just by taking on the things that I do in my life. And the thousands that I'm saving per year is what I can use to invest into, businesses I'm running, or, into myself. So this is education, this is into my...
Or your emergency fund. It always boggles my mind how people want to invest without having money in savings already in place, right? At the most basic minimum, have a month's worth of expenses covered. That means if your rent is $1,000, you have at least maybe $1,500 to $2,000 saved up, right? And then you can start dabbling in some investments. But how are you gonna invest for a higher ROI when you can't even take care of the things that may occur now in the event of an emergency?
Do it yourself.
How, Sway?
Take a few steps back to go.
You ain't got the answers, man. You ain't got the answers. You ain't got the answers.
And this is how people usually get into credit card debt, right? They have no emergency fund, no savings, no buffer room between them and Parkinson's law. Parkinson's law, anything that can go wrong will go wrong. So they might use their credit card for that emergency, right? And as a result, this is how you kind of gradually get into that credit card debt. So instead of investing, you're going backwards. You're in the negative.
Also brands or whatever. Let's waste no time. The first thing I stopped buying in general is Dominos. Now, specifically Dominos, but in general takeaway as well. I just stopped buying takeaway. I feel like it's just a waste of money. Look, I'm not saying I don't eat takeaway. Like, obviously, if someone else has bought takeaway, I'm obviously gonna eat it. Like, I'm not saying I don't eat it. It's just like, if I was to eat food, I'd rather eat food at home. There's always rice at home. Let me tell you that now. There's always rice at home. Now, let's use an example for Domino's. A large pizza meal is around £20. If you're eating that twice a month, that's £40. In a year, it's £480. Now, what I do, instead of actually buying takeaway, which is £20, I'll go for a cheaper option. So, I can go to Tesco's or the supermarket and buy frozen pizza for £2. Twice in a month, that's £4. 4 times 12 is £48 per year. So I'm saving £432 just by going for the frozen option meal. With an extra £432, I can do a lot of things that will benefit me. So think of it like that. And furthermore, takeaways aren't really healthy for you anyway. I'm not saying frozen pizzas aren't healthy for you. Both of them aren't healthy for you. But let's be honest, takeaways are more dangerous on the scale of, damaging your health. Because the problem with takeaways is that it can push you over your daily salt and fat limit, which can lead to all sorts of problems like, heart disease or diabetes. Now, when it comes to takeaway, it's all about moderation. Like, I'm not saying I don't order takeaway at all. Yeah, maybe once in a while, like once every, 3-4 months. Yeah, I'll order takeaway if I'm, feeling it. But, Deliveroo, Just Eat, these apps aren't on my phone. Do you know what I'm saying?
I had to delete Uber Eats, man. I had to delete Uber Eats. I made a whole video one time. At one point, I had like $1,000 worth of Uber Eats on my credit card. Dead ass, like no capping whatsoever. $1,000 worth of Uber Eats on my credit card. That $30 spent on Popeyes, KFC, could have been a week's worth of groceries, man. Like dead ass, like no cap, no cap, no cap.
My addiction to Uber Eats has gone so far that I've resorted to calling my credit card company, my bank, and asking them, lying to them, telling them, can you block specifically Uber Eats from going through my card? I can't control myself, so I have to call them up and tell them, yo, can you block them so it just can't happen anymore on all my cards? And they said, no, you can't. We could shut off your card completely, but I'm not gonna do that. So it's like, bro, it's not even me, it's my son. It's my son. Like, fuck. I have to lie to the damn lady on the phone. Cause Uber Eats, man. Y'all fuck, man. Uber Eats, piece of shit. Probably sue Uber. I think I could scientifically come up with some sort of theory on how they've ruined my life with their psychology department trying to make me order over and over, and they're doing a great damn job because I'm definitely a cash cow for them. I probably paid like one of their employees' entire salary, just me alone, for an entire year. It's horrible. It's terrible. What type of life am I living?
I think the easiest way to adopt not spending money is to go on a spending freeze. What do I mean by that? Like for the next week, like the coming week, don't spend money on anything that's not a necessity. For example, gas, grocery shopping, or perhaps any type of money for transportation. And in my humble opinion, the best way to save money is to do some intermittent fasting. Like dead ass, bro. Think about it. For me personally, like from midnight to like 6 p.m. the following day, I don't eat anything. Think about how much money I'm saving per day. Just think about it. Think about it. Think about it.
Wow. Wow. Wow, bro. That's crazy.
Obviously, I didn't start there, but like for you personally, you could do like, I won't eat until 12 or 3 p.m., right? And then you gradually push your meals further on in the day if need be. I think we all know them ones, yeah? Them ones where you eat sleep for dinner. Man's be eating sleep for dinner, chai. So essentially what happens with the spending freeze is you don't spend anything on the non-necessities of life. And if you need to spend something, you give yourself a budget of $25 and you don't just leave it on the debit card, but you take it out in cash. So you have it on you in your pocket. So you could do this every 2 weeks or so. Let's say you went a whole week, Monday through Saturday or Monday through Friday, you can spend any money and you still have $25 left to spend if need be. Sure, eat out if you want to, right? But for that week, you only spent $25, right? Think about it. And arguably the easiest way to save money is to always just pay yourself first. Once you pay yourself first, you are forced to work with the remaining income that you have available, right? But once you start buying stuff here and there, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, holiday, etc., you have no, it's gonna be hard for you to save after you've already spent on a variety of things. Save first and then spend. And then if you have to spend, ask yourself, can I make money off of this? Or when I buy this, will I save more money in the long run?
The UK spends £451 per year on takeaway, but this then varies from city to city. So in London is £709, Sheffield is £548, Newcastle is £491, Glasgow is £485, and Norwich is £437. And as I live close to London, the average for people in my area is probably even higher than £451. But one thing I do agree with is if you can split with friends, so that means you're splitting the cost between friends, then it's a lot cheaper for you and it works out. Fair enough, go ahead, that makes sense. But you know, if it's just for yourself and you're spending £20 per meal, that's gonna add up quick. Now, second thing I stopped wasting money on is on Ubers and taxis. Now, this isn't entirely, like I didn't just stop. I still get it due to certain circumstances, but it's clearly a no-brainer that walking, public transport, taking a car, walking, biking, even scootering is cheaper than, you know, getting Uber or taxi. In most scenarios. If you use to buy a £250 scooter, it'll cost you 68 pence per day. Plus you're charging it for free because you probably live with your parents, so you're using their electricity bills. Now I only take Uber and taxi in two circumstances. Number one, I am in a rush and it's in my best interest to make it on time. So essentially, let's say I need to be at a meeting or I need to be at a train station and there was a last train that I had to get. I'll get Uber. Why? Because me paying the extra few pounds is worth it for me being on.
If you want to be on time for somewhere, don't try and be on time. Try to be early. So for example, if you have a meeting at 6 o'clock, try and be there for 5:30. And if all else fails, you'll end up being there for 6. Again, if you actually want to be on time for a certain place, aim to be early. What did they say? Early is on time is late, and late is unacceptable. Unacceptable. Unacceptable! So, if the interview starts at 11, try to be there for 10:30. And then maybe if all else fails, you'll end up being there at 10:45 or 10:50. But you have that buffer room to be on time. And as a result, you won't have to use a taxi and Uber. I feel like oftentimes people only use Uber or taxi when they are in a rush, right? And they can't, and taking the public transportation will take them longer than scheduled, right? So aim to be early, not on time. Perhaps if you're going somewhere, you take the public transportation there, bus, train, whatever, and then you Uber yourself back home. Usually on the return trip is when you're tired or you feel lazy anyways, right? Or you have more groceries, right? Bus there, take the train, and then if need be, Uber back.
I'll pay more money to be on time and not compromise any future gain that I would have got if I was late. So if that's the case, yeah, I'll get Uber, it's worth it. You know, there's no point taking a bus that'll take you so much longer to get there. when you're losing out on maybe money, or you might be disrespectful to the person that you're trying to meet or whatever. The second circumstance is simply because there's no public transport due to either the time or the area. Now, transport in a lot of boroughs outside of London aren't that very good. Now, for you Londoners, you won't even understand what I'm saying, because TfL is so good, like it's amazing. But in some boroughs outside of London, transport is dead. Kent, Essex, go there, you'll see it. After 10, it's crazy. If you live in Kent, you understand Kent is more of a driving area. It's one of those places where you want to get your driver license ASAP so you can make your life so much easier, because waiting for bus is not the one. There are some areas in Kent where you actually need a car to get there. There's no public transport around. So in these situations, you may need Uber. Or for example, time. Now again, if you live in London, ignore this, because if it's 2 AM, you can still get home via public transport if you really wanted to. But in Kent or Essex, public transport at 2 AM, unheard of. Those are the only two circumstances that I would get Uber or taxi. But other than that, I try my best to plan around and get public transport and get there as cheaply as possible. I'll be real. And to you Londoners, yeah, I feel like it's pretty wasteful to even be getting Uber or taxi in a city like London when the public transport's A1 anyway. 3 areas in life where you spend most of your money: housing, food, and transport. If you can reduce, 2 of these, then you'll save so much money. I live at my parents' house right now, so rent is calm. Food, if you can reduce that, eat your mum's food, again, that's calm. And transport, again, not getting Ubers, get public transport or even walk or bike it. If you can reduce these 3 financial areas in your life, then you'll save a lot of money. Number 3, the third thing I stopped buying is designer. Now let me clarify what is designer, because I mentioned this before on TikTok and people saying that Nike is designer. When I talk about design, I'm talking about high-end fashion labels. So I'm talking pretty much anything you see in Selfridges or Harrods. So if it's Gucci, Dolce & Gabbana, Louis Vuitton. What designer is not is, Nike, that's not designer. Adidas is not designer. Puma is not designer. These are just simple brands, okay? Alright, cool. So, I'm not even going into too much detail on designer, Like, I feel like this deserves a video in itself, and I will make that in the future. But I personally, for me, buying designer right now is hustling backwards. Firstly, it's not adding to my bank account, it's taking away from my bank account. It's not getting me any new clients, and it's not getting me any new followers, so what's the point? All it's doing is making me look a little bit too flashy, and it's not the message I really want to send out to my followers. And I ain't even gonna lie, this was a very, very hard mental shift I had to make in my life, because, the demographic that I go to uni with, the demographic that I grew up with, my friends, the culture around me, they all love designer. It's a stunting game, it's a flexing game, it's, who can flex on who the most, who can buy the...
What is the ROI of every purchase I make? What is the return on investment of every purchase I make? If you're doing a clothing haul, so to speak, right? Or you're buying clothes, can you make a video about it, put it on YouTube, and make money off of that? Or do you use this purchase for a prop in a video, or prop in something, some type of aspect, right? When you buy stuff, what am I gonna get from this outside of just the feeling of feeling good, right? Am I gonna make more money off of this? Am I gonna save more money in the long run by buying this? Maybe you buy a higher quality shoe as opposed to a one-in-the-mill raggedy shoe, right? And then that quality shoe lasts you longer for many years to come. So it just comes down to shifting your mindset in terms of time. How many hours of my life does this thing cost me? $200 item, and I'm getting paid $15 per hour? Do the math, right? Is this worth 10 hours of my life or so, right?
Latest shoe, you can have the latest garms, like that's the game. But if it wasn't for some mentors that put some sense into me, these are, high net worth individuals that are where I want to be one day. So if they're telling me, buying all designers is a waste of money and I look stupid, then I look stupid. Now don't get me wrong, there are exceptions. So for example, rappers. I fully understand why rappers are dripped out. Why? Because their currency is attention. That's how they make the money. They need to be standing out. All these music videos, all these jewels, all this stuff, it's appealing. This is what people want to see. This is what the general mass wants to see. I understand that fully. Like, a rapper band designer makes sense. It's an investment into their own personal brand. That makes complete sense. Even David.
Oh, and speaking of customized jewelry, right? And whereas customized stuff, when you customize stuff, it makes it harder to resell. So the more generic you can make your item that you purchased, the easier it'll be for you to resell in the event that you do. Imagine me having jewelry with my face on it. Who's actually buying jewelry with my face on it? Unless they're a fan or something, right? But other than that, unless you're somebody famous, no one's buying jewelry with your face on it. So don't try and customize it unless you understand that it's gonna be hard to resell.
I made a video on TikTok talking about, why band designers hustling backwards, and commented saying, he disagrees with me. But I mentioned to him that, him band designer is for his personal brand. If you know who David Bummy is, he is a dripper. Wait, why'd I do that? Wait, what did Hey, if you're watching, I didn't mean it like that. I mean as in, like, he's a drip god, or, he's a king of drip. That's what he claims on Instagram. That helps his personal brand, he makes money off his Instagram posts, that's how he gets his money, that's how he eats. Like I said, attention is his currency, and that's what's helping to grow his Instagram to over 100k followers on Instagram. I remember in 2019, I told myself, you know what, I'm gonna buy a lot of drip this year and, post a lot of pictures to gain more followers. Let me tell you something, in 2019, I didn't gain that many more followers, only like 200, 300 more followers for the year. It was nothing crazy. I couldn't tell what was the problem because I just wasn't growing on Instagram. Then when I started TikTok and started giving out games, started talking about personal finance stuff that I love, that's when I started growing. So people don't really care about what I look or what I wear. They care about what I have to say. They care about my mental mindset. But in general though, again, moderation is key. I'm not saying I'm done with design forever. What I'm saying is right now, it makes no sense for me to buy design right now. My bank account isn't where I want it to be buy design right now. For me to be buying designer, £1,000 needs to be nothing for me. And bear in mind, you may be thinking, Poku, on Instagram you're fully dripped out. What are you talking about? You don't buy design anymore. Like I said, I'm only 19. I've had a mental mind shift. So in December of 2019, that's when I decided, you know what, no more designer. Everything before December of 2019, that was my weak mindset. That's when I was like into designer. After that, post December 2019, so 2020 onwards, that's when I'm thinking more logically. So all the stuff I bought back before December 2019, I'm still gonna wear it because it still fits me. You know, I still have stuff that fit me. Why would I throw away? I will sell a few things, but again, if you do see me in designer, just know this stuff I bought before I stopped buying designer. You won't see me in any new designer, trust me. And this
one other aspect that I guess he doesn't talk about is the dating aspect. Dating can be expensive, man. Especially as a man, you know? Stop wasting money on a lavish dates, bro. Yo. Let me talk my shit real quick when it comes to dating. I have been in these streets. I have been in these streets, man. I have been in the streets.
Say what?
Say what?
Say what?
Say what?
Say
Say what?
Say what?
Do not. I'm clapping, so hopefully my point comes across more strong. Do not go on dates to places you cannot afford to take her. Honestly, the tops I spend on dates now is like $20. You go get a pizza, you go for a walk in the park, you go and get some ice cream, you know what I'm saying? But nothing too big. Anything past $20, nah, you don't need that shit, right? Or maybe you go to Tim Hortons or some other place, right? That's not too big of an investment. $20 tops should be your first date, right? Imagine, think about it. You spend $100 on this date or $50, and then you never see this girl again because she doesn't like you, or you find that she's a waste of time. Why are you spending that much money? Why?
To the no, hell no. To the no, hell to the no. To the no.
You don't really know if you like her or whether or not she's not annoying enough to turn you off. So, calm it down to $20. $20 is calm, right? It won't like break your bank. Especially if you're going on multiple dates with because at a period of my life, I was going on 3 or 4 dates per week. 3 or 4 days per week with different women. Think about how much money that could add up to, right? Sometimes I would pay if I felt the vibe, if I was feeling her. We go get some ice cream, we go get some pizza. But oftentimes we just go for like a walk in the park, just chill vibes. You know what I'm saying? So dating, definitely costly expenditure, especially for men, typically.
this effect, it will take you a few years to even see it because, you know, I only made this decision only 8 months ago. You'll probably notice by 2023 that, oh, rah, he's not even dripping out anymore. He's just wearing plain white tees. That's when you actually notice the effect of me saying I don't want to buy design anymore. If you do see me in design in the future, this may mean one or two things. Either I'm stupidly rich, as in, you know, £1,000 is nothing to me, like I can just buy whatever I want, or it's just a cheeky purchase, like, you know, I just felt like it. I thought, oh, this looks nice, let me just wear it. Don't get me wrong, if something looks nice, I will buy it. But yeah, I'm just saying that if you want to buy a designer, just make sure your bank account is on overload, as in, it's nothing to you. You know, don't be that guy that has like £1,200 in his account and he's buying Louboutins for £800, so he's left with £400 left in his account. Don't be that guy, that's just stupid. The fourth thing, stop buying, or, you know, stop watching is TV essentially. So like, this is cable, so like Sky TV and stuff, which costs around £46 a month. I don't even watch TV anymore, I think it's a waste of time. We're moving on to a new age where everything's online. YouTube, Netflix, they've taken over.
I think this can definitely go in towards your subscription services, right? Do you need that extra data on your phone? Do you need to have that extra subscription service? Like, literally go through your Apple subscription service and X out some of those things that you're no longer using as often.
Your settings and tap on your Apple ID. Then tap subscriptions. Here you can see all the subscriptions that you've signed up for through your iTunes account. Here's the trick, and it may be a loophole that they might close soon. But here you can see all the subscription options available for that app or service. For instance, I have Apple TV Plus at $5 a month, but I could switch to the annual plan for $50 a year. Now, saving $10 on an annual subscription is a pretty common discount, but for certain apps, you may find the same exact subscription for way cheaper.
So any recurring bill that you have on your bank account, try and talk to the company, call the company up, threaten to leave if need be, and try and get a discounted price for maybe like a promotional period for like a year or something. And arguably, the biggest financial hack when it comes to spending and saving money is check your bank account on a regular basis. When you get into the habit of checking your bank account on a regular basis, you are less likely to overspend. You know them ones, yeah, where you go for like a couple of days, you know you've been splurging, and you're afraid to check your bank account. There's a reason for that, because you know what you're gonna see. But if you're constantly aware of your financial health, right? Financial health, body health, financial health, then you'll find yourself not overspending on needless things.
YouTube's free and it's got more entertaining content because there's more people I can relate to on there. Like you're watching me. And Netflix, Amazon Prime, they're all better than, you know, just TV in general. Because it's on demand, I can watch it when I want. I don't have to like stick to a certain time and watch it. I feel like that's just long. If I really want to watch BBC, I got BBC iPlayer. If I really want to watch movies, I even got Putlocker there as well, if you guys know about that. But if you guys know any more like movie sites, let me know because I'm struggling to find some new ones. But again, this is more of a mental man shift as well. So like, I just don't have time to watch TV.
Hey, Putlocker, he knows. I think the other one I used to watch was letmewatchthis.net or some shit like that. But yeah. and for like watching what's it called? For watching soccer or basketball, Reddit hands down. Just in general, simply just type in the name of the sport you want, like NBA free live stream or soccer free live stream, Barclays League free live stream. Yo, the World Wide Web, the internet has changed the game, bro. It has changed the game. Oh, Netflix? Forgot about that. I don't use my Netflix anymore. I used there's this Peng thing I used to talk to, right? I think it's like almost 5 months ago. 5 months ago, we stopped talking, but I stopped her Netflix account, man. Shout out to her, man. Shout out to her. Whenever I do use Netflix.
Anymore. I don't even watch that much Netflix. I don't even watch that much shows anyway. You know, a lot of people tell me like, oh, do you watch this, do you watch this? I don't know, bro. I'm more into reading books and watching YouTube anyway. More educational things. Not buying design has already saved me thousands of pounds already. Okay, now the fifth and final thing that I stopped buying in general is essentially, you know, it's actually a category, but new items in general. Now this one I adapted recently, so let me explain why. By the way, when I say new items, I'm talking more like tech gadgets. So when I say I'm not gonna buy any more, you know, new items, this means no more new phones, no more new laptops, no more new camera equipment that I'm going to buy for my YouTube channel. Right now I'm using my iPhone to record this, but when I do buy my, you know, actual camera to actually record this, it'll be used. Now this is something I recently adopted, you know. I don't know why I didn't clock this earlier. I don't know why it's taking me so long in my life to notice this now at 19. But, you know, there's no point buying any new items anymore. I can't even lie. Now that's going to sound a little bit mad, but let me explain. What I now do is get used items in very, very good condition or refurbished items, which is just so much cheaper off the original retail price.
Oh, big hack, big hack, big hack. Very big hack, right? If you want to buy an iPhone used, let's say you go to Kijiji or Craigslist or whatever place, right? iPhone, you type in iPhone used near me or something like that. Take the person to the iPhone store. I got this iPhone right here, right? I got it used off of Kijiji. I was so scared. I wouldn't even cap with y'all. No cap. I was so like worried about getting scammed or like it wouldn't work or like the phone would be like, you know, blacklisted or some shit like that. So I took the person to the Apple store. I had them check the battery of the phone, whether the battery was okay, whether or not the phone was blacklisted, and whether or not there was any other technical issues with the phone. The Apple store will do that for you just to double check the phone. And then once the technician or the person at the Apple store has verified the authenticity of the product, at that point you can give the seller their money, right? So anytime you want to buy an iPhone from Kijiji, Craigslist, or whatever site that you find, take them to the Apple store. Tell them, yo, I'll meet you at the Apple store so that we can verify the quality of this product and then go from there.
Because due to the markup, what you need to remember is that there's VAT, so that's extra 20% on top. There's also the store cut they take for selling the items. So all of these items are actually priced higher at a premium. And buying used or refurbished will save you easily, you know, thousands of pounds every year, literally. Now, an example is I recently got a laptop, a Surface laptop, free, I think. Surface laptop free. Essentially this costs around 1.5. How much does this cost? 1.5k. 1.5k, and I got it for 1.3. Why? Because I got it in used condition, very, very good use, and it looks brand new. It looks fresh. It works perfectly clean. It's fast. It's smooth, and I saved literally £200 just by getting it used. With that extra £200, I can use that to do whatever, literally. So think of it like that. Now, if you're going to get used or refurbished items, make sure you get it from the manufacturer itself or from an authorized dealer or even a reputable seller. So like, for example, someone with high status, like Amazon, for example, where I got my laptop from. My laptop I got was straight from Amazon warehouse. So if there was any faults with it, we all know Amazon's customer service is very, very good. So they would have solved any problems, but it's been great so far. Now you may be thinking, what are refurbished items? So essentially these items already had the fault with them. They've been sent back by the customer. The manufacturer fixes it up and then sells it as refurbished. So this also means the next phone I get will be used. I'm not buying it brand new straight from Apple or whatever, because I can save so much money by getting it used. Like the next camera I get to actually upgrade my YouTube studio, again, that'll be used. I don't need to buy it brand brand new. There's no need. Don't get me wrong though, I feel like, you know, there's a limit though. So for example, items under £100, you may as well just buy it brand new anyway. Like just buy it brand new. Like it's not that deep. If you really want to save money, you can. It's up to you. But the big items, so we're talking like over £1,000 or like over £500, you can save a lot of money buying it used. Trust me. Hey, but look, think about it. If you could buy a used car 2 or 3 years old with, you know, 40,000 miles in it, then you could buy a used laptop or a used phone. It's the same thing. And the reason we buy used cars is simply to save money, you know. You know, if you bought 1 Series straight from BMW, you know the price would be way too high, so you get it used a few years.
Facts. Especially that car shit, bro. Oh my days. That car, bro. The allure to buy a new car, I've never understood that. But you know, it is what it is. In order to explain the car analogy better and why you don't want to buy a car new or too old, I'll let my guy over here explain it for me.
So the question is, should you buy new and have the heavy depreciation in the beginning but have very little repair cost, or buy a car that has had a lot of depreciation that's occurred and risk the repair cost? And the answer to that is what I call the sweet spot. And the sweet spot occurs at about the 2nd year and goes till the 8th year. And that would, if you're putting on 12,000 miles a year, that would be between 24,000 and 96,000 miles. And this sweet spot is what I consider the best financial choice to own a car. Cars are built so well these days that the sweet spot is at 24,000 to 96,000 miles. So this scenario, you're going to get the best possibility of getting the car for the best price with the least amount of maintenance during your ownership.
But essentially, yeah, between the 2nd year and the 8th year are the best periods to own that car. So if a car is made in 2020, right, the best time to own that car would be between 2022 and 2028. That means by 2022, you've missed most of the depreciation. And after 2028, that's where you start having some of the repair issues and maintenance fees that cost more, right? So, yeah. Shout out to Poku though. Poku, this rate, you'll be like a 25-year-old millionaire or some shit like that, you know what I'm saying? But always remember, your time is money. The money you're spending is equivalent to your time. How much of this purchase is worth your time? And consider going on a $25 spending freeze. That means for that week, you don't spend more than $25. And in order to keep track of it, you take out the money in cash so that you know what you're working with. I'm just saying. But yo, God bless, much love, peace, and joy. Namaste. Always remember, if it doesn't feed you, don't water it. And too much of any good thing is good for nothing. How you look doing today? Say it with me. I'm doing more, saying less, and keeping that same energy. You know, cat. Flip the script. I'm out. Deuces. Pop.
Bangers, look, bad B wanna rock with us. Guess she got a thing for rappers. Like, what's the matter? They like us, cause we stepping dapper. I know F-boys and trappers. That's a bunch of well-known splashers, money stackers. We lops, cause we just make bangers. Look.
Man, I saw you on stage with them G4 boys, so you fuck.